I am your host, Michelle Shirley, CEO and Chief Heart Officer for Be Strong International. Welcome to our show. And of course, today we want to let you know that you can follow us on all of our media pages at Be Strong Intl, where we are doing so many amazing things within the community. We have food drives, we have workshops. Be Strong is all about healthy relationships. We teach heart skills. Our goal is to move individuals and families from brokenness to wholeness. And when we talk about brokenness, we're talking about the negative patterns, the traumas, the individual choices that people make that stop them from fulfilling their purpose. And so Be Strong comes in. We reach families through workshops. We talk to married couples. We talk to parents. We talk to young people, all about healthy relationship development. We want young people and families to be whole. And when we talk about wholeness, we're not talking about having to be perfect. But if you have the tools and the resources, you can make much better choices about your future. And so welcome again to our show. And today we have an amazing a guest. His name is Baldwyn English. He is from FPL. He is the External Affairs Manager for FPL. So welcome to the show.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
Yes. So let's talk a little bit about how we met. I think we were trying right before the show, trying to figure how did we meet?
Right.
And I'm thinking it's Lisa.
Yeah.
So shout out to our amazing board member, Lisa Greer, who connected us. And you attended our our winter gala?
Last year you had it at the Rusty Pelican. I think that's where it was.
Yes.
So I don't know what the event was called, but it was a great event. Yeah.
Yes. Thank you so much for your support of Be Strong.
Sure,
ever since we connected, you've been amazing and keeping up with all of the things that we're doing. And I know you introduced us to even a colleague to see how
I have another
that
one.
part. Oh, see?
I made a mistake, but we'll talk about it offline. I think I brought you the wrong person. So
it's all good.
We'll talk.
It's all good. It's always exciting to know that when people come in contact with us and they're willing to share resources or contacts or allow us to think about ways that we can partner with that organization, it's always a blessing. So thank you. Sure. All right. So let's talk a little bit about what you do at FPL in your role, external affairs. It sounds scary.
Right. Well, not internal affairs like the cops,
right? That's true. Yeah.
Hopefully no one is, usually people are happy to see us, right? So, but I'm an external affairs manager for Miami-Dade County, primarily in the southern portion of Miami-Dade County.
Awesome.
So I'm responsible for cities of South Miami, Pinecrest, Cutler Bay, Palmetto Bay, Florida City, and Homestead.
Right.
Those are my areas, and that's a part of the county. And what I do primarily is engage directly with elected officials. If they have any issue related to FPL, I don't want it to be an issue for them. If a resident is calling and complaining about anything related to power, I tell them to call me, right?
Wow.
They don't call 1-800 whatever our customer service number. I'm your customer service guy. I'll take care of it.
That's cool.
And if I don't know if I can't take care of it, which I usually am not the person,
right.
I know who the person is, right?
Right.
So we'll get it done. And then we also engage in the business community. I sit on a few chambers, and we try and keep our ear to the ground as to how we can be helpful and impactful in that arena. And then thirdly, we engage a lot with organizations like Be Strong to partner with organizations that are really moving the needle when it comes to a lot of the socioeconomic issues that are prevalent throughout society. So, I look at it as a 3-pronged type of focus.
Yeah, that's good. I was thinking while you were talking about, the elected officials and the calls that they may receive from constituents. And I'm thinking, how do you manage all that? Because there's so many residents, right? Just within that that area in which you're speaking of. And so how do you manage handling those calls and figuring out what's happening? Yeah.
Well,
that's a
gratefully, FPL has invested a lot into its communication tools with customers. So usually, we have almost 6 million customers statewide, and about 1 point something of those are here in Miami-Dade County, right? So yeah, you're right. I can't field all those calls. Yeah. So we have a great website, FPL.com. Looks great on your phone. Most people are able to engage with their questions and concerns directly through the website or through the app.
Okay.
And then so only when something may be bubbling up, a customer may be frustrated with a particular issue and they don't seem to be getting the right answer.
Right.
Or, if it rises to the level where an elected official gets involved, then we'll come in and help her resolve it. So,
okay, that's cool. Yeah, and I didn't think about the app. I need to download that.
You need to download the app. You need to download the app.
Okay, cool. You mentioned chambers. I know that you are a part of some, right? Some of those chairs might be watching, so I don't want to pressure you to say which one might be your favorite, right?
Right. I can answer that question easily.
Oh,
yeah,
really?
Yeah.
Wow. So share and then definitely talk about your role with the chambers because it's so important for organizations to join chambers, even nonprofits, believe it or not. A lot of local leaders don't think about that concept, but it's really incredible. And in the South, where there's so much need, where I feel like sometimes the residents' needs, families' needs are forgotten about because there's so many programs on the north end of the county.
Right.
I really feel like joining a chamber in the right one is really important. Yeah.
So I'll answer your first question about which is my favorite chamber. Can I look in this camera? Is that my camera right there?
Yeah.
Can I look in that camera?
My goodness.
It's drawn real close. My favorite chamber is all of them.
Oh, man.
I'm gonna walk away from that one. All right, I'm gonna walk away from that one. But I'm involved in Chamber South.
Yeah.
South Dade Chamber, the Miami-Dade Chamber of Commerce, directly getting a little bit more involved in the Haitian American Chamber of Commerce, right?
That's cool.
And a lot of these chambers are different in terms of their vision and mission. Some are geographically centered.
Yeah.
Some are kind of mission driven by helping their members really, take their businesses to the next level, overcoming various obstacles and so forth. So I enjoy the chamber work. And particularly when you engage, I'm engaged in nonprofit work on the side, you know what I mean? And have been a benefit of organizations like Boys and Girls Club and so forth.
Awesome.
So I enjoy that my chambers, and I think, I've seen you at Chamber South events, and that's one of those chambers that I think has a great presence when it comes to nonprofits, right? And we've been able to identify nonprofits. I've been able to identify nonprofits really because of their engagement in chambers, right? So there is a value not just to for-profit businesses, but also to nonprofits to get engaged in local chambers.
Yeah, absolutely. Yes. I've seen you at a couple of events and FPL being a sponsor for some of those events. And so that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
I want to ask you, while we're talking about kind of nonprofits and the needs of what nonprofits sort of support in the community, I want to ask you, what is it that FPL is doing now to support families, community-driven work, besides what you're doing? What are some programs that maybe people don't know about that FPL offers?
The last couple of years has been it's caused us to really kind of pull back and see where's the best way we can help, right? And we've done things way beyond the scope of what we've traditionally done just because of the particular needs that present themselves. So when COVID happened, the whole country shut down. We found ourselves providing a lot more support for organizations that were providing food and basic necessities, right? I think generally speaking, we like to focus on education efforts, STEM clubs. We support robotics clubs.
That's so cool.
At various schools, some drones now.
Wow.
We've developed a FPL Air, which is I don't even know how many drones we have, but we have a lot. And so we've supported some local drone programs as well. But because hunger and food, that's a real issue. You know what I mean?
Yes.
And educational efforts for even organizations like Be Strong. I love the holistic approach that Be Strong takes, and not just dealing with the kids, but there's some family issues at home that need to be dealt with,
Absolutely.
right?
Absolutely.
So you take a very holistic approach to that. So, besides the drone and STEM, definitely food drives and turkey giveaways and the holidays.
Yes.
And, you'll see our name and our logo on a lot of different events like that. We're just really trying to position ourselves to be helpful to make South Florida a better place to work, live, and play, right? For everyone.
Yeah, that's really cool. And do some of the engineers take off time to like go to schools and do STEM projects and things like that, or really engaging?
There are definitely a number of them that do it on their own, right? They'll go after work or whatever the case may be. But we also do have certain programs. Power to Care is a big week that we, if it's not just going out, we identify certain organizations throughout our territory, and it could be anything from painting a building to planting sod out front to mentoring young people, whatever the case may be. So yes, to answer your question, yes, we have a lot of engineers that take it upon themselves to find a way to give back to the community that's been so good to them.
That's really good. That's really good. I wanted to ask you too, like, how did you end up at FPL? Like,
oh man.
Yeah,
if you had asked me 20 years ago, like, this is where I'd be at this age, I would have questioned you because I have no idea,
Like, did you go to school for engineering? Like, what's your background?
Yeah. No, I didn't. I'm not an engineer at all.
What? No. Shocking, right? Because most people think FPL engineering, math and science goes together.
And most of a good number of our employees are engineers, and customer service, another big employee group within our organization. No, I went to school for business and did business marketing. Your family's from Jamaica.
Yeah. We talked about this.
We talked about that. So I didn't know what I wanted to do when I was going to school. And I was like, well,
you have to do something.
You got to be a nurse. Nurses make good money. And you can get double shifts and triple shifts, and that's good.
Oh,
be
my
a nurse,
God.
right?
All the island folks was like, be a nurse, be a nurse.
So I went to FIU, did my years. My grades were, so I had to sit out a semester while waiting. And while I sat out a semester, I opened up a business with my cousin.
Right.
We used to type very well, and we were typing. Our job at that point was working for the Florida Relay Service, and we typed phone conversations between the hearing impaired community. Yeah, so that was great. That was a great job. It was, we began tapping.
That's unique.
Yeah, that was a lot of fun.
You fell into that niche, yeah.
So anyway, we opened up a business, anything on paper, typing papers for people, and it led into graphic design. And I took way more time out of school than I initially planned. And I went back to school and got a business degree, earned a business degree from FIU, and then went to law school.
Wow.
Yeah, so I went to law school, one of our HBCUs, Texas Southern University in Houston, and practiced for 5 years after that in one of the big firms out there in Texas.
So cool.
And my wife is from Miami, and she wanted to come back home. We had 2 little kids, and it was good for us to be there for a while in the early part of our marriage, right? And then I think we just valued the impact that family can have in helping to.
Oh yes,
you don't trust everybody's your kids.
I know,
right?
I know.
You need a good babysitter sometimes.
Yes.
So we moved back. I was moving back to Miami, and a friend of mine who was a former state rep at that time was being appointed by Governor Christ to the Public Service Commission.
Oh, cool.
And that's the regulatory body that regulates utilities throughout Florida. And he said I needed a chief of staff, and I had no idea what he was talking about. I'm Googling it while we're talking. Yeah. Well, not even chief of staff. What is a Public Service Commission in the utility industry? What is this? And long story short, I took that job. I thought I'd take it for a year just to get reacclimated back to Florida. Ended up being there 7 years.
Wow.
And have not looked back from this industry since then. So
that means you loved it. You got in and you found your niche.
Yeah, it was great because you use some legal analysis. And then with this job in particular, it capitalized on the legal analysis, the regulatory experience I got in Texas. I got in Tallahassee, and then kind of the interpersonal skills, right?
Yeah,
so this job just seemed to fit all of those, scratch all of those
That's so
itches.
Cool. Yeah. You know what I love about your story is the fact that, you said, your grades weren't so great, and so you took a step back. But look at you now. Amazing what you're doing and your role now in FPL and the accomplishments you've made. It's so encouraging. Sometimes I think young people get discouraged because they go straight through from high school to college. they try to make the best grades they can, and
Yeah.
sometimes maybe they just need a moment to
Right.
just process what's happening in their
Right.
lives. And so I just love your story
Yeah.
about how you did that. Do you have anything to maybe say to young people that might be watching, or young adults, or anything about persevering through that, because you ended up being so great?
Yeah. Well, thank you. Thank you. I need to show this clip to my wife, when I get home. Look, Michelle said I'm great. But I tell kids, I tell young people, and I speak to young people on occasion when I have an opportunity, and I tell them, it's not a matter of where you start, it's where you finish,
So good.
At FIU, one of my semesters, I was just distracted. When you don't know where the end goal is, it's hard to
see your way.
Some people are able to do it. They just get straight A's and plow ahead.
Right.
I needed a little bit more context, right, to what I was doing. And one semester, I dropped my classes all too late after that drop date. When you drop after the drop
I know
date,
how that goes.
Yeah, those grades aren't pretty. And had to, so there were a lot of step backs I had to take. But when I realized what I wanted to do, I wanted to go to law school. I finished those last several classes.
And
with
law school
A's.
is hard. And taking the exam is hard.
Yeah.
I have some friends who have challenges with taking the exam and stuff, So that, kudos to you.
Well, law school was, that HBCU experience is something that was great. Awesome. You have professors that, hey, come by the house. Let's work through this. You know what I mean? And and it was a very collegial atmosphere. I had friends that had gone to law school before me at other schools, and they talked about, experiences where this particular answer for this assignment they had is in a book in the library, and they go to the book and the page is ripped out of where they need to get the answer from, or the book is hidden, different things like that, because it's so competitive. And my experience was completely different. If there was one book that had it, somebody was like, hey, the book's over here, here's the answer, everybody will come over there. And you know what I mean? It was a very collegial atmosphere. So I was able to do very well while in law school, and it helped to validate me. I'm like, oh, okay, I'm smart. I can do this. And then went on and passed the bar first time, and had no qualms about it, and life
that's
was good.
super cool.
So I tell people, persevere. Man. Persevere is good, man. You'll get there. Just keep fighting.
That's so good. High five to you, man.
Hey,
awesome. Hey. I love people know about Mr. English, law degrees, everything. What is going on? That's so cool. That's really cool. All right, so we're gonna move into our segment now, where we play a little bit of our game called Social Yaks. It is for sale right now on our website. Buy one, get one half off. So we would love for people to visit our website, but I want to basically have you select from each level.
Okay.
Our first level is called Break the Ice. And I feel like we already kind of broke the ice, but we'll indulge the audience a bit with some of the questions and answers from our first part of the game. So go ahead and pick the poll. Read it aloud.
And I'm asking you this question.
You're answering. You are answering.
What culture has your favorite food? We may have spoken about this before. We're both of Jamaican parentage. Is your husband Haitian?
No, he's Jamaican.
He's Jamaican too. Okay.
Yeah.
So my wife is Haitian.
Oh.
Haitian parentage.
Right.
And so we go back and forth on this all the time.
But don't you feel like some of the food is the same?
A lot of food's the same. Well, wherever you go, a lot of rice and peas, brown stewed chicken. It's a lot of it's the same. But I ride or die for Jamaica. So my wife, she rides or die for Haiti.
Hopefully she's not watching. I hope she's not watching right now. Right?
So Jamaican
don't be
food,
mad.
generally speaking, is my favorite.
Don't be mad at us. Don't be mad at us.
But Haitians, people know Haitian got that. They got that good rice.
Man, that griot,
that
griot
rice.
too?
I don't eat pork, but
Really?
the tassos, like
when I used to eat pork, griot was like,
I've heard good things about griot. My favorite food is gonna be Jamaica. I love oxtail and this and that. But
so cool.
that Haitian rice, it was good. They did
throw
something
down
with that. Yeah.
Throw down with the Haitian rice. So visit a Haitian restaurant near you. All right, cool. So we're gonna have you take the next question there from the same level.
Oh, okay. What So I'm answering all the questions.
Yeah, yes.
Oh, okay. Okay. What did you want to be when you were younger? So I was a nerdy kid who in third, fourth, fifth grade, I forgot, 2 of those years, I carried a briefcase to school.
Stop it.
I didn't have a backpack.
Stop.
Yeah, I carried a briefcase.
Madness of the briefcase. The one with the lock thing, you flip it.
Flip it, the combination, the leather joint,
And the kids around you said,
I don't remember, thankfully. Maybe it's one of those things where it's like PTSD. I don't remember any ridicule about it. But I was from New York. I was born in New York. My mom worked downtown at a banking.
So you kind of copied.
I love going downtown. Days you're able to go with your parents to work. I love the big buildings and this and that. So I got a briefcase, and I wanted to be a businessman / and then at one point a lawyer. But I was told lawyer's a liar. Lawyer equals liar. It didn't make any, so I just kind of buried it.
For all the Jamaicans who are watching who just caught that patois, it's so funny. Oh my goodness.
Full circle, I finally came back around to it. But yeah,
I'm sure your mom was happy.
Oh yeah, very happy, very happy. Yeah,
yes.
Definitely. Yeah.
That's so cool how it came. Destiny just came full circle.
Yeah,
that's what you just walked into. That was your purpose anyway.
And then I walked away from it, and now I work for FPL.
Oh yeah, that's true.
I don't know what's going on.
Yeah, that's
my
true.
Destiny. But,
yeah. And you didn't come in today with the briefcase.
I did not. So I go with the next one.
All right. So now we're gonna play part 2. This is level 2, social, getting social. So we're going a little bit deeper.
What's something that you are grateful for? Oh boy. So family, most definitely.
Yeah.
I love my family.
Yeah.
As we get into the holiday season, a lot of people kind of have apprehension. Some people, I talk to people, they don't want to meet with their in-laws and this and that.
Yeah.
Very grateful for family. We're driving up to Jacksonville tomorrow. My wife is graduating with her doctorate degree. Congratulations again.
What's her name?
Shirley. Her name is Shirley
Dr.
English.
Shirley in the house. She's going to come and be on the show.
She will. Get her on the show.
Awesome.
So, I'll be with my in-laws and staying in my sister-in-law's house. And I love family.
Yeah.
So family's great.
Yeah, that's
I'm
great.
definitely grateful for family.
Yeah, I love that too. My dad, we had a little dinner party last night. He turned 73. So we were like,
young and sprite.
Yeah,
Good,
really cool.
Good.
Yeah, love that.
Around my parents'
Love that
age.
family. Yeah, love that family stuff. All right,
Next one.
Another
All
one.
right. What was your favorite game or toy growing up? So before I became more aware, my favorite toy, and I cried to get this toy, was a Dukes of Hazzard remote control car. Dukes of Hazzard has a big Confederate flag on it. But my parents from Jamaica, we didn't know. I just wanted the car. We didn't know anything about that. But that was my toy, man. Dukes of Hazzard.
That's pretty cool.
Cars, yeah. So.
That's cool.
I'll tell you my
Boys
age
and
there
their
too.
toys. All right, so now we're gonna go deeper.
Dig deeper. Okay, I'm liking this game. What do you regret not doing? Wow.
Yeah.
What do I regret not doing? Years ago, it's going to sound very capitalistic, but years ago I had an opportunity. This is before I even went to law school. This is like turn of this century, right? 2000, 2001, to buy some real estate. And I'm like, nah, I'm not buying it in this hood and this and that rundown area. Now I couldn't even dream of affording property there. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's that goes back to not seeing something for what it is, but what it can be. Right?
Yeah.
It goes to people as well. I tell my kids,
counting people out.
I'm looking at what you can be in the future. And that's why I get frustrated sometimes,
yes,
right?
That's why I tell my son. I love it.
Yeah, but I definitely missed some business opportunities. So
I hope
is what
they all
is.
comes back full circle somehow.
I think so.
Yeah.
I think so.
Here's another one.
What do you admire most about yourself? Wow. Admire about myself.
I'm liking the purple socks with the purple tie and the purple shirt. That's what I'm looking
at. Oh gosh, too much purple. Royalty. I don't know.
Yeah.
My brother had to introduce me at something at church. I had to speak. And one thing he said was that he appreciated that I was real. Like where I'm at church is the same person I'm at home, right? I'm not like
That's so good.
the cussing pastor or something, you know what I mean? At home. And so I appreciated that. And I do try to keep it real, as it were, in that regard, and be open, honest, and authentic in every space in which I operate, right? So,
and that's a wonderful gift to have. It's just it's a beautiful thing to know that you're the same, because then people feel like they can rely on you, they can trust you. They don't have to put up a facade when they're around you.
Hopefully not.
That's really cool. That's really cool. All right, so the last part of this game, which is pretty cool, is called Use Wisdom. It's the owl stage. And so how this game flips is the last part of the game, I or the participants share something about the person who pulls the card. So obviously it's you. So I'm going to share something about you. And what I like about that part of the game is that it encourages at the end. So based on all that you've heard, as each person plays or takes their turn, in the end, it ends with a very warm and vulnerable space to share insights about that individual and just to encourage them. So it's pretty cool. So it says, if I was a drink, which is you, what drink would you be? What would you be? You would be, there's this drink that my family likes to get at Cheesecake Factory. It's called cucumber lemonade.
Oh, okay. We get the strawberry lemonade. Not as healthy as the cucumber lemonade.
I feel like since I met you, you're just funny, cool, and calm. You know, you don't walk around with like a level of like, even with a suit and tie, which can feel to sometimes, you know, to people intimidating. You're very calm. You're very relaxed. You have this inner joy and peace about you. And it's kind of, it's really cool. So I'm just thankful to know you. And that's what I would say. That's the drink I would say you are.
Well, I like cucumbers. I've been called cool as a cucumber before.
Right.
So
it fits, right?
It fits,
so I'm in the realm.
You're right in the ballpark.
Awesome.
You're right in the ballpark.
I love it. Well, I don't know if you want to share any last words to those who might be listening. If there's information that they need to know about FPL or any kind of insights that you would need to share with the community as far as what FPL is doing or what new projects might be happening, or just certain things over the break, maybe people leaving and going away out of town and certain things. Anything you want to share, this would be a great time to share as we close out.
I was sharing with a friend the other day who we went to high school together. Her son, has graduated college now and has a cybersecurity degree. And I sent her the website, careers.nexteraenergy.com. FPL is part of the NextEra umbrella company. So careers.nexteraenergy.com or jobs, just Google those words, right? Somewhere around there, you're going to find a website where there are just so many opportunities for internships if you're in college, studying business or engineering and so forth. If you're a recent graduate, people are looking for good paying jobs to be able to afford to live in South Florida where it is not cheap. We're dealing with a housing crisis. So if you're watching it here or wherever you may be and you're considering moving to Florida and you have skills that we could use, I encourage you to look. We're investing a lot in solar throughout the state. Our goal is for our all of our energy to be generated by carbon-free generation by 2045.
Wow.
So we're not going to use natural gas or anything like that anymore. It'll be all solar, nuclear, primarily that will be, and then hydrogen. Hydrogen, we're looking into that as well. So if you're living in South Florida by 2045, if you own a business in South Florida, you'll be able to say, we are operating in a 100% carbon-free environment when it comes to our generation. And I think that that's great for the environment.
Absolutely.
It's great for us as local residents that live here every day. Great for business as well. And I know. I think that's a couple of points I'd like to share.
Yeah, that's really great. Thanks for sharing
Sure,
that. That's really cool. And with the job market right now, there are so many opportunities that are out there.
There are.
Everyone's looking for people.
Yeah.
So it's been pretty intense. Well, that ends our show for today. I do have a little surprise. My son is here in the studio. I wanted him to come on and just come on through and just wave. I had to beg him. This is my beautiful oldest child, Jehu. He's out from school today. All right. Oh, and I get a kiss too. This is wonderful. Oh my God.
He's trying to get that allowance up.
I know, right? He's trying to get some more money. Right. Thank you so much for joining our show. We do have a request, a last minute request, and that is that we are asking Santa for a cargo van. As you all know, we do food drives every month, and we deliver nutritious food packages to over 500 people located in the South area. And every month, there's quite a process to put this event on for the families that are coming through. And so we are asking if anyone knows someone. We have been good this year. We are not on the naughty list, and we are asking for support to get us a new cargo van so that we can help with this whole process of our food distribution efforts. And so if that is you and you are watching and you are moved by what Be Strong does, and especially trying to help with the food insecurities that are still happening today, unfortunately, in some of our communities, we ask you for your support. With all that being said, continue to follow us on all of our social media pages at Be Strong, INTL, and we will see you soon.